Hey, what's up guys, happy new year. And for my new year's video I decided to re-pimp my Longshot. I'm sure you guys are actually familiar with this thing. This is my red Longshot featured in my Pimp My Longshot video. You can check it out over here. I know it's a really long video, it's 40 over minutes long, I'm sorry, but please bear with me because it's a full modification video. Now in my previous video I actually told you guys I was going to keep something crazy for you guys to show you all on New Year's or New Year's Eve. So yeah, as you guys know, inside this Longshot holds some Xplorer stuff, like for example the Xplorer bolt stud and also the Xplorer shotgun grip, as you can see from out here. So now, here's the story. I just came up from a meeting with wrxloonie and of course Aheng from the Xplorer group, and these guys actually surprised me with a little gift. I won't say it's little, but it's crazy, it blew my mind and I'm really excited about it, so I just decided I want to show you guys, I want to share with you what's going on. This is the latest in the Xplorer group productions. All the developments and everything is all inside this little packet. I know, no fancy box or whatever, but you know, once you know what's inside you wouldn't care about the packaging. So now I'm going to share with you a part by part. This whole thing inside here, everything in this thing is known as the Xplorer X Power kit for the Longshot. And I'm going to share with you each and every thing that is inside here. First of all, in the kit you'll get this finished, completed version of the Xplorer Stefan clip, and it features a little crazy, you know, secret thing that I want to share with you guys in a short while. It's a pretty nifty feature. Yep, put that aside first. Next up, in the kit you'll also receive this thing, which is of course the Xplorer Longshot bolt sled. And you guys know that this thing is really good quality. It's made out of polyurethane and ABS mix. Yep, as you guys have seen already. Next up, we have included a 14 kg spring. This is crazy power, the same one that's in my red Longshot. Of course that one I put with another spring, but this is crazy enough already, 14 kgs. Now this is the one that is the most interesting thing out of all. It's an entire breech assembly. It's a replacement for your Longshot. Now this barrel area actually comes with this little transparent ring, so please make sure that you don't lose it because you need it when you're doing the installation. Yep, as you can see, it's all been molded out really beautifully, and this is a combination of aluminum and polyurethane ABS resin mix. Of course, same thing goes for the chambering assembly itself. This whole plunger cup has been replaced by a brand new re-engineered piece. As you can see, it's a lot more sturdy. It's made out of also polyurethane and ABS plastic resin. But check it out, it's got an O-ring around it and it gives it a crazy seal, so you know that there won't be any air leaks. And also on the inside here it's been coned out or reamed out instead of the old stock Longshot where it's just a bunch of dead space that you can't really get into. Alright, and this part over here of course is made out of aluminum, and this part is very beautifully machined out, as you can see, molded, casted out, and this will be the one holding onto your bolt sled. So let me put these aside. What else is inside this little package? It comes with this little sachet, and inside this sachet or packet is a little foam piece that goes on as your plunger padding. That's nice of them to add. At the same time, you get a back plate made out of aluminum for your Longshot plunger tube, and also you get a aluminum catch for your Longshot. Along with that, you still get a replacement catch spring, which is an upgrade. It's a lot beefier, so yep, you know that the thing won't slip. Put that aside. Last but not least, it was nice of them to actually include these. These are samples of the new production darts. I won't be sharing too much information about the darts with you guys because I'll leave this to the Xplorer group themselves to actually share with you guys. But let me just say that these things are probably, you know, going to be the next revolution in the whole dart smithing industry. These things are good, they work really great, better than the city tips that we have right now. I won't say anything more than that, but you have to try it for yourself to know. So all of this inside the Xplorer X Power kit. Now the reason why Aheng and Looney actually sat down and thought hard and, you know, engineered and, you know, machined out these things is because now we understand that not everybody is able to have access to a brass breech. Maybe you don't have access to brass, or you don't have access to the right tools, or you don't have enough modification skills or experience in order to perform that mod by your own. So they actually came up with this whole set as a sort of a drag and drop kit to actually just replace the internals of your Longshot, be it stock or be it modified. It doesn't matter. So since after hearing that I was so excited that they actually gave me one, I really want to re-pimp my red Longshot with those new internals, and I want to show it to you guys as I do the installation. Of course, I won't be going into all the smaller details, like for example improving your plunger tube seal and stuff like that. If you guys want to do, like for example, a stock block and all the other mods, please watch the original Pimp My Longshot video. But this re-pimp my Longshot video is going to be of me doing a replacement for my already pimped up red Longshot with those new internals. I could have chose to do a new in-box Longshot, but I decided not to. I decided to go for this one because I want to show you guys how simple it is just to remove and replace the internals with the new ones. So I'm gonna take the camera out into the dining table because the lighting's better there, and we'll do the installation and then we'll see how it goes from there. So yeah, I'm really excited, so I can't wait to get going. Peace. Alright, so here we are at the dining table with a pretty good light source, and as you can see, my Longshot has already been opened. If you guys need a tutorial or you need directions on how to open up your Longshot, please check out the original Pimp My Longshot video. I'm not going to waste time doing the whole thing all over again. Alright, so before we start off, I'm going to just tell you what are the tools that you actually need. First, you need a pipe cutter, the tube type. Alright, set of screwdrivers, Phillips head. This is optional, it's a flathead screwdriver. That's for my installation of my Longshot shotgun grip. Anyway, it's just another Phillips head. Something sharp, like an ice pick tool, another Phillips head in a small size. These are just all optional. You guys should have a few on hand anyway. You need your lubricant. This is Super Lube synthetic grease. Okay, SG Nerf and myself actually believe in this a lot. Even Atan uses this. This is pretty good stuff. You need some super glue. Doesn't matter what brand, super glue. Right. A set of precision screwdrivers. Yep. Please ignore the whole bunch of spare screws, nuts and bolts inside there. Then we have the kit that we're gonna be, changing the parts with. The Xplorer Longshot bolt sled. Okay. The whole Xplorer X-Power kit breech assembly, which will be put aside first. The replacement spring. The aluminum catch plate. Aluminum back piece, and the catch spring, the upgraded catch spring from inside the X-Power kit. So all of these, this whole area over here, all these items are actually found and included with the Xplorer X-Power kit, I'm sorry. And also of course you have your plunger padding, which I'll put aside. So now this is the Longshot. We're going to remove things part by part, so we shall carry on with the installation right now. Or the swap. Alright, first thing, we're going to remove this screw over here on the trigger. Okay, so we got the trigger out. Next thing, we're going to remove the catch plate. Right, so you can see the crazy amount of springs I had to put on initially. Next, we're going to remove this screw over here. So I got that removed. Next, I'm going to remove the screw on the dark tooth. Alright, we're going to get rid of the dark tooth. Now for the Xplorer X-Power kit, much like the brass breech, whenever you do a brass breech or angel breech mod, you don't actually have any use for the dark tooth, and so we'll be getting rid of it totally. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so we got that out. Gently remove the whole dark tooth piece over here. Now we're going to just lift up the whole plunger assembly with the breech and the bolt sled itself, of course. So lift everything up and slide it out like so. We're going to set this aside. Please do not forget to remove your bolt lock piece. Put that aside. So now this can go aside first. Let's focus on this whole assembly over here. First, we want to get rid of the bolt sled. Now, you guys have to imagine that this is a stock bolt sled and we're going to replace it with a new one. Alright, so it's pretty simple. You either get your ice pick tool and you push it in here, or you get a precision screwdriver, like say for example a small one like that, and you push and make sure that you push the pin out on the back, so you can actually remove the whole bolt sled. So yeah, let's just do that right now. So yeah, as you can see, the whole pin comes out like that. Then we gently remove the whole bolt sled. Now when you do the bolt sled installation or swap, it's your choice whether you want to remove these two rolling washers on the side and swap it over to this side onto your new bolt sled. But because they are the identical same Xplorer bolt sleds, I'm going to be reusing mine because mine has been perfectly fine. As you can tell, after all the shots and test fires that I've gone through, there's absolutely no damage to it, no stress marks, nothing. So this thing, it's really high quality. Okay, so I'm going to put this one aside first. And then for my previous one, I actually had e-tape around it, that you guys probably would have also if you actually perform any mod to block up the air seal or the air leak hole. So just remove the e-tape that you have on top. Anyway, I'm going to have to remove these two screws on the back piece right now. So we're going to take a smaller size screwdriver, like so, and we're going to remove it slowly. Be careful when you're removing the screws, try not to crack these two sides over here because these are really prone to cracking. A lot of stock Longshots actually have them cracked already. So yeah, what I like to do is I like to hold it in place like so with my index and my middle finger, so I can apply pressure on it equally while I remove the screws. So let's just go ahead and do that. Right, so now that I got these two screws removed, I'm going to put them aside, make sure I don't lose them. Now I'll remove the whole plunger from the plunger assembly, like so. Okay, and I'm going to set it aside. As you can tell, I've already double springed it with the 14 kg spring and the stock quad shot spring, so I'll just leave this about here. Okay, now we're going to have to find a way to remove this whole breech assembly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to employ the use of my pipe cutter tool. Now what I like to do is I like to set it exactly on the ridge between the black and the orange part. So I'll do that, do just that. And then I'll spin it a few rounds and it should pop right out. Like so, yanks off. This can go bye-bye. This whole thing can go bye-bye too. So put that aside, like so. Now, you're left with the bare plunger tube. This is where this guy comes in. Now if you notice, for this fella over here, there's some threads over here. Alright, the warning from Ahim himself is that for you not to start to screw this thing because this length has been measured exactly and it's been calibrated perfectly to fit your Longshot, so please do not try to adjust it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some lube. Alright, remove the front part because this part is it's loose. It did not come stuck down. You'll find out why in a short while. Alright, so I'm going to lube up the O-ring area like so. I'm going to be a little bit more generous with this. Okay, and it's going to go right in there this way. Use my pinky and push it in like so. And wow, that is crazy. It's a perfect air seal. That's nuts. That is nuts. I'm going to push it all the way in. Right? Okay, so here we go. Just want to make sure I get the lube on right. Okay, great. So now that it's in there, we gotta bust out our super glue. Alright? And we're gonna apply some super glue all around the edges of the receiving piece. Okay, so that's nice and even. I've got an even coat all around it with super glue now. Put it aside. Make sure it goes in all the way. Like that. And I'm gonna just twist it a little bit so I can spread the super glue all around. And yep, more or less I've got it down. So it should be like that now. Oh man, things looks really good right now. So now we're done with this piece. We'll set it aside for now. close out my loop for a short while. Next we're going to work on the plunger assembly. This goes aside. What I'm going to have to do is just lift up my previously put plunger padding just a little bit. Set it aside. Don't want to get too much of the adhesiveness off. Get my screwdriver and undo the screw, the Phillips screw over here. And it should pop right off. Yep. Now I'm going to remove this original piece over here, and to make sure the alignment is correct, please double check. It should be lined up this way, like so. Alright, so check the alignment before you put it in. It goes in this way, like that. Right? Then we're going to put the springs in again. If you're going to use the 14 kg spring, just put it in like so, like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the upgraded version, so I'll put it back like that. Then I'll get my plunger head again and reinstall the plunger head onto the plunger rod. Okay, make sure that's all nice and tight. My plunger padding, and put it back on. Install it the way I had it on just now. Yep, like so, it did set in the middle. And make sure it's all tight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-loop this thing. Yep. Grab this whole thing, put it back into the plunger tube. Yeah, nice and smooth. Now as you can see, it's a perfect fit over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the old screws I have and screw this whole thing, the back piece, back into place. So the trick here is for you not to over tighten the screws on the back. If not, you might actually rip out the threads on the inside of the plunger, the screw ports of the plunger tube. So yeah, now this is done. We're gonna set this aside for now. Alright. So this spring actually goes aside. Now we're almost done. What we're gonna worry about next is this. Alright, and of course attaching the bolt set on. So this one, what you do with this part, take your whole Longshot shell over. Right, plastic piece goes aside. Now, you're going to have to remove this entire barrel, the barrel area. So with the barrel, just lift it out and slide it right out. Like that. Piece and this piece. And now I was talking about this clear piece over here. This is actually the guide to help to center this thing over here. So this is very important. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually line it up with the screws on the inside. Okay, let me just show it to you guys easier. So I'm going to just unscrew this piece, so give me a moment. So now I've got the screws removed on this piece. I'm going to take out the whole muzzle and show you guys up close now. As on the inside, as you can see, there are 4 notches or threads, and that's where these guys with the cutout edges will actually go to. You're supposed to line them up nicely, and they would sit like a friction fit on the on the inside. You can push it all the way in if you want to, but yeah. Okay, so I got it in all the way. So yeah, basically you want that to be centered right there. Don't know if you guys can tell, but you can tell from the front that you can see that clear plastic piece. Yep, so I'm going to put this one back and install it back into this place over here. Right, so the reason why you have to have that little plastic piece on the inside there is because it's a help to center this barrel over here. Because as you can tell, it's a smaller diameter than the stock orange barrel on its own, and Thing is, if you were to put it back inside, it's up to you to choose whether you want to just leave the aluminium there so that people can see, or you can actually just sleeve this over and make it look like stock from the outside. So for me, I'm going to make it look like stock from the outside, but once you install it, it's actually loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bust out some E-tape and just put a little bit around this lip over here. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do right now. This step is completely optional, it's entirely up to you. I just want it to be that way. You don't have to be, or you don't have to follow me, but that's what I want to do. Right, so I'm done. It'll look like this for me. It's entirely up to you. So when you install this thing, please make sure that the two prongs are facing on the outside. As you realize that there's no hole over here, there's no slot for the dark tooth. So you're not going to care about the dark tooth. But this whole thing actually replaces this along with this part. So we're going to slide it in like so. Right, and then we're going to have to make sure that it sits into the groove nicely, like that. So yeah, mine looks like that right now. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to put this one aside. Right, so once again, I'm going to use back my original bolt sled. This is the brand new one that came with the Xplorer kit. I'm not going to use this because, yeah, I'm just going to make use of this one. So we need the pin that we actually had earlier. Make sure you didn't lose it. So what's going to happen is you're going to just slide this one on. Make sure that this notch over here comes inside here, like that. And it should sit nicely like so. Right, and then you have to align the hole, the slot, and then put the pin right through. And there we go, it's a perfect fit like that. Right, so yeah. Now before you install it, please make sure that this knob is on a 90-degree angle. Like that. Alright. Now we're almost done. Put the unwanted pieces aside first. Get our Longshot body. Now we're going to have to match up this with this part over here. And we're going to slide it in. You gotta make sure that all the knots just line up, especially on the inside. And this marker over here is on the 90-degree mark of your Longshot itself. So make sure that there's this little notch over here. That's to tell you where the alignment is. So don't forget that. So I'm gonna reinstall this piece, which is the bolt knob, because I believe in this piece a lot. And it should go right here. Right, once that's in, we're going to take our new catch plate with the new beefy spring, which goes here. Right, we're going to slide it in. Make sure the spring goes underneath the primary indicator. Right, so now with the catch installed, next thing we're going to put back is of course the trigger assembly. Right, so we just put the trigger back in place like that. Right, now we have to install back the screws over here and here. We don't have to care about these screws anymore because we don't have a dark tooth no more, or dark door. So yeah, grab these. So this is the finished internals for the red Longshot with the Xplorer kit, the Xplorer Xplorer kit. Everything inside, metal piece, metal reach. Longshot Xplorer bolts that. Yep, so that's it. All that's left now is just for me to close this thing up, and that's what we're gonna do. So, alright, so I'm done with installing the Xplorer X Power kit. As you can see, I have the metal barrel over here, and I'm gonna just turn it once. I don't have the trigger lock inside, so I should be able to deprime it. Oh sweet, try again. Oh man, that feels good. So check it out. I've got all the internals over here, and yeah, check it out. It's a metal breech on the inside. Yep. So this is done. It's working. This is great. Hey, what's up guys? So I'm in here in the car park again. We used to be on the other end, but anyway you can see the whole tape laid out. It's 100 feet tape as usual, and I'm here with my Re-Pimped up Longshot, and you can see the Stefan clip. We're gonna just fire off some rounds and compare it to the previous firing demo. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm alone, so we don't really have a smaller camera on the other side, and I'm sorry for that. Yeah, so anyway, new year, new color of my iPhone, which is pretty cool. Siri, Happy New Year.
Happy holiday.
So yeah, happy holiday guys, and we're gonna see how this compares up. So I'll be loading it with a few different Stefans. I will just check out the clip and I'll load it first. Alright, so I just want to show you guys a little nifty mechanism before I actually load the clip with darts. So you see this slot over here, this thing? This is actually a dart tooth. It's an inbuilt dart tooth mechanism that works something like any of the inverse plunger systems or Longshot, the firing mechanism. The whole bolt sled thingy, there's always like this dart tooth that actually holds the dart in place as you chamber your darts in. So this is actually something that helps loading your Stefans into stock breeches or any of the bolt sled type of a receiver or breech system. So your dart basically leans against this dart tooth over here, and then you start to close push your blaster forward in order to chamber the dart. And once the lip of the breech touches this thing and pushes against it, actually because it's beveled, it will actually go down like so, as you can see. And yeah, so this actually helps to chamber your dart further back into the breech, so you can get less dead space and stronger air output, or maybe even more pressure if yours is a tapered type of a breech. So yeah, if you guys are wondering, then what if I'm using a CPVC breech or a brass breech system, or a reverse breech type of a system? It's very simple. It's just there's this lock mechanism that it's a good idea by Hing. So what you do is just push it down, and then grab a hold onto this notch over here on both sides and just pull it down till you hear a click, like so, and so it stays down, so it's locked. So if you want to take it up, just push it up. So when you're using the Xplorer kit with the Stefan clip, you just want to have it down. I mean, it works even though it's up, but you want to have it down anyway. So I'm going to load it now with, of course, the Xplorer darts. This is just a quick sneak peek for you guys. And yep, this is the black tip one, which is a soft tip, and the green tip one, which is a hard tip. So yeah, I'm going to load these in first because I want to save the best for last, and you guys will see why. So yep, and then we're going to load it with a bunch of random other darts, like for example a hot blue dome. What do I have next? White foam slug. I got a pink foam slug. Oops, I dropped that. Another white foam slug. See, what else do I have? Another pink foam slug. I do believe I have a silly tip. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, it's a black foam silly tip dart. So I'm going to put it all inside here. And the cool thing about it is this part is all clear, or there's a slot. I wouldn't say it's clear, it's a slot. So you can actually see how many darts you have left, or what kind of darts you have on the inside. And just a little tip, if you were to color up this area over here, this dot, you can actually use it as a marker, a dart, how many darts you have left. So yeah, we're going to just quickly load it into the blaster. So what you do is very simple, just hunt the blaster back, put the clip in. As you can see, it is the Xplorer kit on the inside, and then push it forward, and then basically you have it chambered. So let's go. We're going to fire it off in that direction. I'm going to fire it off on my shoulder parallel to the ground, and over here, right here, is the 1 foot mark, or the 0 foot mark, and I'll show you guys this mark before we make a walk down. So let's go. That was a silly tip. It's a pink foam dart. It's a white foam dart. Another pink foam dart. White foam dart. That's a hot glue. Now it's time for the Xplorer dart. So these are the hard tip ones. First one. Second hard tip one. Whoa, that flew really far. Oh shoot, that's crazy. And the soft tip one. Alright, so now let's go check out the range. So as you can see, we'll start here. This is the 0 mark. Let's go. Sorry, I kicked the camera. My bad. I'm gonna adjust the... okay, adjust the legs already. So now, we've already gone past the 60-foot mark, as you can see. 60 foot. So all these clustered over here, these are the pink foam darts at the 71-foot mark. Right. The white foam darts are over here at the 78-foot mark. That's the black city tip Stefan. That's just a cigarette butt, so just ignore that. This is actually at the 82-foot mark. Go down. Here we have the soft tip dart. That's it. This is the hard tip dart. Sorry, at 89. This is the 100-foot mark, and we have some darts that flew way past. So this is the soft tip dart over here. And one more of the hard tip dart over here. So I can't really tell where the brown foam hot glue dome is, but anyway, I estimate to be about 140 feet where I am now, or maybe even 150. So I'd say give and take 140 feet. So as compared to the stock breach was hitting about 55 to 60 feet on average, and this is like at least on the average would be about a 70, no, not even 70, yeah, it's a 74 foot average out, so that's crazy. This thing is really good, as you guys can tell. So now I'm just gonna head back and continue on with the video. So thanks for joining me on this firing demo. I'm kinda happy with this kit. I mean, kinda is just an understatement. I'm really happy with this kit. This is my Re-Pimped up Red Longshot. Peace. Alright, time to wrap this video up. I know, different cap, different shirt, different day. Back to the Xplorer X Power kit. I'm gonna run through a quick pros and cons for you guys, so you guys can actually see whether it's worth or not to get this system. Alright, so first con. The biggest con to this system is its inability to use regular Nerf streamline clips or regular Nerf clips, like for example your 35 drum mag or your 18 drum mag or 18 dart clip, your 6 dart clip. You cannot use all those. Second con, the fact that you cannot use regular Nerf clips means that you cannot use regular length darts. That means no streamlines, no FDL darts, you know, no 7cm or 2.5 inches darts. Third con, it's not as airtight as a brass breech system. That's about it for the cons. Now on to the pros. First pro, it's a drag and drop system. Foolproof, just open up your blaster and do the install. You can tell by the video how simple it is. Pro 2, range improvement. Comparing the first Pimp My Longshot video and this Pimp My Longshot video, the Re-Pimp My Longshot, watch the firing demos in both videos and you can actually see that there's a visible improvement in regular Stefans, at least 20 feet or 25 feet. Just want to make sure that everybody is clear about this. I use the same spring combination from the first and second Pimp My Longshot videos, just to maintain fairness. At the same time, I also fired it off parallel to the ground, so no lie about that. Pro 3. This system is designed to be an alternative to a brass breech system or an angel breech system. So you guys, like I said in the first part of the video, who aren't able to, you know, have access to brass, or you don't have the skills to actually create a brass breech or an angel breech, this is a very good system for you. Pro 4. It's a lot sturdier than an angel breech system or a brass breech system, because you don't have to actually adhere the top nub that connects to your bolt sled. This thing is a one solid molded piece, and it's really crazy sturdy, as you can tell from the installation part, the way it's made in the firing demo. What I think about this being able to use only the Xplorer Stefan clip is very simple. with a system like this, I'd rather it fire only Stephans and not regular Nerf streamlines or, you know, the sort. Simply because I don't want to have, you know, like crazy range like 130 feet, 150 feet with my darts fishtailing like crazy and not being able to hit a target. I'd rather be able to know that I can hit a target at 70 feet flat without angling and always be on point. So that's what this system actually does for me, and I think it's a lot more practical in a real life Nerf war situation. At the same time, I know I didn't mention this earlier, but having a brass breech also means that you have to have your darts really straight, because the chances of the breech actually eating your darts or chomping them up is really high. Also, the last thing I want you guys to take note of is that if you create a brass breech system, it's a lot safer to not take out your trigger lock. So leave a trigger lock in, because we've heard of some stories where, you know, you get a dart jam with a brass breech long shot system, and you try to take out your dart and the trigger actually slips. So you imagine if the brass breech closes in with your pinky inside when you're trying to take the dart out. That won't be a pretty sight. So with this thing, it's just plastic against plastic, not sharp edges, so it wouldn't eat into your system. Yeah, you get a bruise and stuff like that, but at least you won't have a crazy deep gash on your finger. That's not what you want. Now let me get into the price of this thing. The whole Xplorer X Power kit, whatever you saw included in that plastic bag that I showed you at the start, is going for 260 Singapore dollars. Now before you guys go, whoa, that's like really expensive, I can't afford that, things like that, I'm not gonna pay money for that. Alright, let me break it down for you first, okay? You get the Xplorer bolt sled. For pre-order, that bolt sled was going for about 50 Sing, and regular price is about 60 odd. Next you get an Xplorer Stefan clip. Same thing, for pre-order that thing is going for about 50 bucks, 50 odd. The regular retail price is about 60 odd. Also, those of you who are in Singapore and you know, have been in this game for a while, you know that in the past you were able to get the metal catch plate along with an upgraded catch spring, plus a metal back piece or the back end spring rest or the Mickey Mouse piece for the plunger, and that whole set of 3 pieces cost you about 50 Sing also. And the market rate for about a 14 kg Longshot spring, aka the V2 spring, is going for about 18 Singapore dollars. So you add all of those together, it's about 168 Singapore dollars. And think about it, I don't think you're actually able to find anyone to do a brass breech or angel breech mod for you for less than 100 Sing. Alright, and I'm giving you all the prices, you know, according to the mass order or the pre-order prices. So you guys go think about it and consider. Now for those of you who are interested in getting one of these Xplorer X Power kits, please contact Mark, also known as wrxloonie, Mark Loon, at Facebook or on NerfSG if you guys have a NerfSG forum account. Facebook.com/mark.loon, Facebook.com/mark.loon. That's where you can actually drop him a message, add him as a friend, you know, he's wrxloonie. If you guys ask me, I would say, yeah, please go get the kit before it sells out. Last that I checked, there's only 9 pieces left, 9 sets left. And yeah, of course they can work something out for you international buyers. I will not tell you what price it is in like USD or Euros or Australian dollars, because you know how prices always fluctuate, the currency rates and currency exchanges, things like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up this video right now. That was the Re-Pimp My Longshot video. Thanks for watching all the way through. I know it's about a half an hour odd, but yeah, so this whole thing is really easy to install. I'm gonna keep it this way. Big ups to the Xplorer group for actually doing this whole kit up. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy New Year once again. Peace.